Hello, this is Darryl Webster, Office 365 MVP, and we're taking another look at Office 365 groups. Now, I get the question asked occasionally, do I even need a SharePoint Team Site now that I've got Office 365 groups? Since the arrival of Office 365 groups, this question's been coming up again and again. And my reply is, why not use both? A recent change will help the Office 365 groups and team sites work more effectively together when working with files. So in my previous post about Office 365 groups, I talked about sharing files and sites with an Office 365 group. I spent some more time recently looking at what else I could share, and it should have occurred to me the first time round about sharing a folder with a group. Now this is going to help bring the group to the team site rather than the team site features to the group. So let's see it in action. At the moment, I've got a very basic group. It's to reflect the operations team within our organization. And I've sent a quick message out to my team to let them know that we're trying to simplify communication and sharing using groups, but we're still going to keep our team site and we're going to use it alongside our new group. I have instructed them to keep an eye out on the file section of the group so that they can see some of these changes that we're about to make. Now remember, an Office 365 group is not just about the features that we're seeing right now. It is a group behind the scenes where I can be a member of a group, and that provisions a number of services that can be used for collaborating with this group. So within our Outlook web access experience that we're seeing here, or what Office 365 calls Mail now, we're seeing our conversation area of the group. Now this episode is more about the files, so let's visit the files area, and we can get to that quite simply from the files menu up in the group. And this is one great feature about groups, that we can get to all the different features that are part of a group quite simply from wherever we are in the group. Now it's a brand new group, and now of course our file section is empty, so we could go ahead and start using the group in the way that people have begun to use them as they are now, that we can start to drag files in and make them available to our team. And remember, any file that is made available in this files area is available to all members of the team. There's no further granular control to say only certain members of the team can access this file. Likewise with if we created a folder within here, that I can't create a folder and say it's only available to managers of this team. So sure, that's one way that we could start sharing files with our group, and you can be forgiven for thinking that, is this going to start creating silos again? What about all the hard work that we've put into making our SharePoint team sites and making use of all of those great features and document libraries within SharePoint Online? So a recent change that has occurred within groups in Office 365 is it's added this new view called Shared with Us. And we discussed this last time that I recorded a few findings, just kind of in a raw way to look at, what's this thing that we've just seen appear in Office 365 groups. Now what we learned last time is that we can share a file either from a team site or from OneDrive, and that will appear in the Shared with Us view. What we're going to do now is go over to a team site for operations where we already have a document library, and we're going to try and share a folder and see how that operates within this Office 365 groups view. So something of a recap, let's first of all visit that team site, and here's our operations team site. And just to let you see there, I am trying to use something, a bit of metadata there to try and organize my documents. So I've tried to use folders alongside my documents. I've got my documents all organized, and whether they're an activity based on general or HR, security. And what I'm going to do is just first of all show you that I'm going to share one of these files that's going to appear in the Shared with Us area of our group. So we'll take the administrator timesheet template and we'll share that with the group. And this is the great thing that I can do now with groups, that now that it's a security group that I'm able to look up, I can now look up the ops group. We'll be presented with that, and we can set the permissions very easily, whether they can edit or just view. We get an indication there that it's going to be shared with a group. We can then also choose to send an email to the group, and of course group members who are subscribed to Conversations will also get an email saying this file has been shared with the group. So as we share that, it doesn't take too long, and it will start to make its way over and appear within the Shared with Us view. So if we just have a quick look at that now, go back over to our ops view of the files, and we'll refresh the screen, and we should see that file appear, and there it is, administrator timesheet, and it is shared from the the SharePoint Team Site that we were looking at. So that's great. I mean, I can share a file, but do I really want to go ahead and share individual files one by one and try and put them in this shared with us area? I mean, sure, that's convenient, but sure, we've learned a lot of lessons about trying to do this more efficiently, and of course we could do that with folders. So let's have a look about doing that from our team site. And what I said before, this is about bringing the team site to the group rather than the team site's features to the group. So we'll have a look at this. Now we'll visit our operations site, and there's just a few things that I want to prep and try and get some points across. So if you're an organization who's proudly tried to avoid using folders in your document libraries and you've used purely metadata, I mean, great, hats off to you. It's great that you can do that, and you've managed to form a culture that will go along with adding metadata. You know, really my personal feeling is that sure, you can do that. It's just a new thing to learn. But what I'm trying to get to here is that it is a good idea to start using folders alongside metadata. And this is the reason why, that as we begin to explore some of these features with groups and being able to share things with a group, then folders is a really nice, convenient way to share a group of files with a group. So I've already prepared 3 folders, and I've left one just so that I can demonstrate, and it is the training file or group of training files. So I have an activity here, and there's a few files that I've labeled as training styled files. The rest of them are general, and I'm going to sort of filter this column so that I can show everything to do with training. You would have noticed too that I've also labeled my folders based on the activity as well. So if I clear those back out there, we've got a compliance, HR and security also have been given metadata to show them as matching the name. So I'm using metadata alongside the folder. So now let's just create a quick folder for our training, and this is quite simple. At the same time as creating it, let's just try and do it 2 steps in one. I'm going to share this immediately with Ops, and we'll do it the same way that we did with the previous file. We'll just give them edit permissions, send an email, and click create. Now the further thing I'm going to do within this view is training at the moment doesn't have the activity assigned to it, so I'm going to use the library tab and go into quick edit and just quickly assign the training activity to it. Now this is really just for convenience for me organizing my files. So as I stop editing, now what I do is go back to that filtered view of the activity, and we'll see everything to do with training, and we'll also see the folder that I just created. So I'm going to want to bring those files over into the training folder, because at the moment the folder's been shared with the group and there's nothing in it. We'll bring those files over, copy them in, and now that that folder's been shared with the group, let's go back over to our Ops group and see how this behaves with the files. So returning to Ops, we'll refresh the page. And now what we should see and shared with us is, yes, a folder called training, and it is shared with us now in our groups. So what we got here is a link through to the training files within our document library that is given us a link between a team site and our groups. So we're getting the full power of a document library with all the metadata, all the features there that we put all our hard work into, plus we've been able to link it through to a group and get that convenience. And the beautiful thing about this is that all the members of the Ops group can access this training folder. It's been quickly assigned to them using the new security group or the Office 365 group as a security way of getting members together. So how does this operate from a user's perspective? From me as a member of the group, if I want to visit training now, this is going to take me through to the team site with the document library, and it's going to give me permission to the training folder, and you'll see that there now, operations and training. So it's taking me directly through to those documents, and now I can continue to work within the team site, full power to all the features within a document library in SharePoint. So you'll see we're using metadata alongside folders. We still have the activity column there, and we can still make use of views like the by activity view, where I can go back and see all the items that are marked with training as metadata. If I go back up one level, I can see all the other activities there too, and I've removed the folders from that view. Now the thing about our our behavior there where we click on a folder over in the ops groups files view of things, is that it's taken us directly through to our team site, and now we've lost the context of the group. How do we get back to the group? And so, sure, I can use the old back button and get back there, back over to ops and see the shared with us view of our files. So this is one improvement that I would suggest, is that when we're opening items within the shared with us view, that it doesn't open within the context of the group, but it opens in a new tab. And so yes, we can do that manually by right clicking and saying open in a new tab, and we've got that covered. So we still have our groups a context over here in the tab that we started off with, and we've got our training folder here that's based in our team site. So my requested feature I would make, and I will drop this into office365.uservoice.com in the groups area, is that when we click a folder or a file that's within the shared with us view, that it does open up in a new tab and we're not taken away from the context of the group. Because as you can see, as I launch administrator timesheet, I'm taken through to that Excel timesheet, and as you expect, I can go back to the team site. I've been using that breadcrumb that's built into Office Online, and as I click back to demo, that's actually just going to take me back to the team site itself. It doesn't take me back into the context of the group and group files. So we're still stuck with that same problem, and this is why I think it's important that we do open up that file or folder in a new tab. So it's a very basic demonstration of being able to share a folder with the group, but I hope you see the potential for being able to share more content conveniently and efficiently with groups, and hopefully we'll see some action and some votes along the suggestion that I'm going to make in the user group forums. So do keep an eye out for that in the blog post, and we'll see you next time.